Hi, this is Matt Mitchell, and you're watching a special video edition of Election Pulse Florida. For those who follow me on my blog or on redcounty.com, this is a weekly-ish feature where I break down one of the major races that's going to be held in 2010 in the Great Sunshine State. Over the past couple weeks, I've been covering a couple statewide races, the gubernatorial and Senate races for 2010. But we're going to go to Congress this week and look at Florida's 8th Congressional District. This is a district that by design was supposed to be fairly Republican, but in recent years demographic trends have allowed it to become very competitive. It was originally held by four-term incumbent Congressman Rick Keller, a Republican from the Orlando area, and he was famous for some things like a French fry incident as a congressman, and he was challenged in 2008 both in the primary and the general election, two very competitive races. He barely survived the primary against conservative local radio host Todd Long and was ultimately defeated by a war profiteering prosecutor by the name of Alan Grayson, a Democrat from the Orlando area. A very wealthy man who was capable of self-financing, and he proved it by putting up almost $3 million of his own money to run this race. The 8th District is mostly, just for background, it's most of the Orlando metropolitan area, Disney, and a little bit of Osceola County, plus bits of Lake and Marion counties, some of the northern suburbs of the Orlando area. Like I said, by design, supposedly a pretty reliably Republican district, but then Senator Barack Obama invested a great deal of money in this district and won 60% of the vote in Orange County. It was one of the big reasons why he ultimately carried the state of Florida in 2008. When you win 60% of the vote in Orlando, you are well on your way to winning, and that's exactly what he did. The I-4 corridor congressional districts are very, very expensive to run good races in, and this election in 2010 is going to prove no different. This is made even more difficult by Congressman Grayson's ability to just basically cut himself a check and keep himself competitive regardless of what he does, and he has done a lot. He has proven himself to be a bit of a firebrand. He's not the kind who's just going to sit on the back bench and get on his committees and fill the potholes in Orlando or in Eustis. He's going to hold his press conferences and say whatever's on his mind, and he's got a lot on his mind. And that may come back to haunt him. He may find himself giving a potential opponent quite a good deal to say. And unfortunately for him, the Republican Party is targeting him and targeting this district, and they're looking to find just the right candidate to take out Congressman Grayson in 2010. And for a while, they thought they found one in Orange County Mayor Rich Crotty. He has been a very successful Republican Party fundraiser for many years. You may know his son a little bit better than Mayor Crotty if you don't live in Orlando. 4 years ago at a rally in the Orlando area, President Bush spoke, and while he was talking, Mayor Crotty's son, who was standing behind him, was very visibly nodding off and yawning on camera. But unfortunately for Mayor Crotty, that is one of the less challenging scandals on his mind right now. In addition to being Commissioner of Orange County, he is a chairman of the Orlando-Orange County Expressway Authority, and he took over that commission in 2007 in response to corruption allegations regarding illegal fundraising. He claims that he has helped clean it up, but while chairman of it, he authorized a fee increase, and the resulting revenue has been highly scrutinized by conservatives, and there have still been some lingering fundraising accusations and corruption issues within the authority. And that is something that he has had to deal with in the past week, and that's why I kind of focused on this race and have decided to make this our inaugural video edition of Election Pulse Florida. This has been the top story of the week statewide, in addition to the budget impasse in Tallahassee. But as far as election news go, this is a big deal right now. The thing is, Mayor Crotty has had a very good reputation for many years in the Orlando area, and that may allow this scandal to kind of, wear down a little bit and not really impact him. But right now, it's something that he has to deal with, and how he deals with it is going to say a lot about whether or not he runs for Congress at all, and if he does, how it affects him in a primary or against Congressman Grayson if he wins the primary. And if he decides to bow out, the potential for a very competitive Republican primary exists, and the National Republicans really don't want that to happen, but it's a good problem to have when you have a few very capable candidates in any congressional district willing to run. Those would be one former Orlando state senator and two current Orlando representatives in the Florida legislature. The former is State Senator Dan Webster, who is a good friend of Crotty's and has promised not to run for Congress if Rich runs. However, there is also radio host Todd Long, who once again ran against former Congressman Keller in the 2008 Republican primary, and he's not bound by the Republican establishment necessary, and he has a little bit of name recognition. He could run if he wants to and not necessarily be deterred by pressure. Some other names are State Senator Andy Gardner, who replaced Webster due to term limits, and State Representative Steve Praycore, another Orlando Republican who hinted in an interview with the Politico that he might be the kind of guy that is needed to take down Congressman Grayson. Another opportunity, the other issue with all these state reps is fundraising. Mayor Crotty is the only person who has the name recognition and the money raising capability to take down Congressman Grayson. He can make the calls and make the money he needs to do to run a great campaign in the Orlando area, and that's something that Congressman Grayson may not be able to do. He is a very wealthy man, but he does not like making fundraising calls. He does not like going out and asking for money, and his first quarter fundraising numbers have proven that. He was the poorest performing fundraiser among House Democrats, House freshman Democrats, I should say, and that has got national Democratic operatives very concerned. The only reason he is a congressman right now is because of Obama's great performance in Orange County. You take Orlando out of the equation and Congressman Keller would be serving in his 5th term right now. But as it is, he has to win on his own terms, and he has to win on his own. Here in 2010, without President Obama on the ballot, it's going to be a test of just how good of a representative Congressman Grayson has been for the 8th District, and if he does not have the money to make that case, he will not be re-elected in 2010. But as it is, it's going to be very competitive and very exciting. It's going to be one of the congressional races to watch here in the state of Florida, and I hope you'll stick around. Next week we'll have another edition covering one of the other big competitive congressional races, Florida's 10th congressional district. A normally safe Republican district in Pinellas County could become competitive, and we're going to take a look at that. For myself, my name is Matt Mitchell, and I thank you for watching. Bye-bye.